It's very obvious. They've all been told to come here today. Tell everybody it's a stunt. Tell everybody it's a stunt. Why are they acting like sheep? Why are they acting like sheep? They should be better than that.
That was Kemi Badenoch in the Commons, accusing Labour MPs of being whipped to protect Keir Starmer from a Privileges Committee investigation.
Why didn't the Prime Minister say so last week? Why didn't he say no pressure whatsoever? He should go and read the Hansard, Mr. Speaker.
And that question matters, because in a minute you'll hear the exact quote Badenoch says Starmer left out.
The Prime Minister read out selective quotes from Sir Ollie Robbins' evidence to the Foreign Affairs Select Committee and deliberately left out critical sections to make it seem as if Sir Ollie Robbins' evidence had exonerated him. The Prime Minister told the House, and I quote, "No pressure existed whatsoever in relation to this case." That is not what the record shows.
This is not just a shouting match. It is a fight over whether the Prime Minister corrected the record or whether Labour MPs are being asked to stop the record being tested. Share this before the spin takes over, hit like, and help hype the channel. Because this is the kind of Commons exchange people need to see in full. Now, let's go back to where it started.
The very next day, at Prime Minister's questions, the Prime Minister read out selective quotes from Sir Ollie Robbins' evidence to the Foreign Affairs Select Committee and deliberately left out critical sections to make it seem as if Sir Ollie Robbins' evidence had exonerated him. The Prime Minister told the House, and I quote, "No pressure existed whatsoever in relation to this case." That is not what the record shows. Let me read Sir Ollie Robbins' exact quote. "Throughout January, my office and the Foreign Secretary's office were under constant pressure. There was an atmosphere of constant chasing." So how can the Prime Minister tell us that Sir Ollie Robbins said no pressure existed whatsoever? Everybody heard what Ollie Robbins said. We are not here to test whether members have good hearing. People can go and look in Hansard. The question today, as the Speaker said, is whether this should go to the Privileges Committee, whether this House and Labour MPs really believe in full due process, whether Labour MPs have the integrity to refer the Prime Minister to the Privileges Committee, knowing what we all know and can all read in Hansard. The Ministerial Code is very clear.
There it is, at the earliest opportunity. That is the whole trap Badenoch is setting here. She is not just saying Starmer got a detail wrong. She is saying he had a duty to correct Parliament, and didn't.
Ministers who mislead the House must correct the record, and I quote, "at the earliest opportunity." It is very obvious that the Prime Minister, what the Prime Minister said at the dispatch box was not correct. It's clear that full due process was not followed. If Labour MPs allow the whips to force them to block the consequences of these decisions, it will degrade not just them, but this House. The question is, what kind of people are they? Are they people who will live up to the promises they made about standards and the rules mattering, or are they people who abandon their promises to be complicit in a cover-up? Yes, I will give way.
To the right honourable lady. On the 4th of February, we passed our humble address here in this House with a unanimous vote of, a unanimous opinion of the whole House that all of the documents should be made available and published. And those that wait for the question. And those that were considered sensitive should go to the Intelligence and Security Committee. Her party accepted that amendment on the 4th of February. If she wasn't going to wait for the outcome of that, why is she moving this process today?
I think that is an excellent question. We asked for the release of documents, and then when the evidence came showing what the Cabinet Secretary had said in November 24 about what full due process was, it was very clear that those instructions had not been followed. We also know that this latest information about the problems with the security vetting did not come from the humble address, it came from a leak to The Guardian. So why should we wait for a never-never process that is clearly not happening? Even members of the Intelligence and Security Committee in that SO24 debate last week said that there were delays to the release of the documents. So, Mr. Speaker, members opposite want to pretend that this is something that only one party is doing. Can I remind them that this is a cross-party motion supported by independents, the Lib Dems, the DUP, the SNP, members from across this House? Calling this a stunt is disrespecting this House and disrespecting the Speaker. It's very obvious, listening to the media and their tweets, it's very obvious they've all been told to come here today, tell everybody it's a stunt, tell everybody it's a stunt. Why are they acting like sheep? Why are they acting like sheep? They should be better than that. We will be counting, by the way, some people might even be shouting bingo, at how many times people stand up and say that this is a stunt in this debate. We're looking forward to it. Mr. Speaker, there is a... Yes, I will give way.
I'm grateful to my right honourable friend. I think she's being a little too harsh to the limited number of Labour MPs opposite. I mean, here we have the entire reputation of the Prime Minister of this country, the leader of their party, and they're not turning out for him because they know that he is now a laughingstock, and having called round them, they found out they had to put a 3-line whip to get them to protect his blushes. So, can my right honourable friend be a little bit kinder to the members opposite, especially the brave ones who are actually prepared to come out and defend the indefensible?
I thank my right honourable friend for that intervention. I will do my best to be kind, because he is right. There are more people here today than there were last time, so the whips have really been working hard in the last 7 days. Last week, not a single Labour MP bothered to intervene. Now, we've got a second one. I'm going to take an intervention from the right honourable gentleman, and then I'll come to the Labour MP.
Very grateful to the Leader of the Opposition. She's right to highlight the cross-party nature of this motion and also question the applicability of a whip in refusing a motion before the House. Does she not agree, and should Labour MPs not consider that if there's nothing to hide, there's nothing to fear?
The honourable gentleman makes an excellent point. I completely agree with him, and in fact I will be making that case in due course, but I will give way to the honourable gentleman.
Well, I thank her for giving way. And a moment ago, she talked about selective quoting, and I'm sure that she would not want to selectively quote Sir Ollie Robbins herself. So could she tell us what the rest of that quote was? And when he talked about pressure, was he talking about pressure to deliver a decision in time for President Trump's inauguration, or was he saying that he felt pressure to materially change what that decision would be? Because that is quite an important distinction, is it not?
Now, to be fair, that is a real distinction. Pressure to meet a deadline is not automatically pressure to change a decision, but Badenoch's point is simple. If that was the defence, why did Starmer say no pressure whatsoever?
It is quite important, and if it was, why didn't the Prime Minister say so last week? Why didn't he say no pressure whatsoever? He should go and read the Hansard, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yes, I will give way on that point.
Well, friend, for giving way on that point. Are we really suggesting in this debate in this chamber that anyone who does not fully, comprehensively, without any hesitation, pass vetting should be given the most important role in our ambassadorship? The opposition seem to be suggesting that someone who is borderline, that there are any red flags, should be put in this sort of role. Is that not absolutely extraordinary?
That's not the due process.
It is extraordinary, and the evidence which we've heard from the Foreign Affairs Select Committee...
Most mainstream coverage will clip the noise and miss the real question. Should a Prime Minister's words at the dispatch box be tested when the record appears to contradict them? Is this referral justified, or is it just political theatre? Put your answer below. The best argument gets pinned. Share this one first, then hit like and subscribe.